Your forecast first with KSN Storm Track 3. Sponsored by X Services.
Good morning, everybody. Giving you your forecast first from beautiful Salina this morning. And as we get into that forecast first, it does look like many of us should stay pretty dry as we go through the morning hours. Only a 10% chance of a passing shower. But other than that, by the time we get to midday around the lunch hour, definitely looking pretty dry out there with a mixture of clouds and sun. And then by later on today, that's when we'll have a slightly better chance, maybe seeing a few pop-up showers and storms that we'll have to watch out for. Also looks like it's going to be another warm one, too. The rest of that storm Track 3 forecast is coming up. Your news starts now.
This is Kansas Today on KSN News 3.
Good morning, Kansas, and thank you so much for starting your day with us. I'm Eddie Randall.
I'm Alexis Padilla.
And I'm meteorologist Ronald Williams.
I feel like we have been counting down for probably months and then weeks now, waiting to say that we are officially here on the KSN Summer Road Trip 2023. It is actually day 2, and we are live in Salina this morning at Ad Astra Books and Coffee House. I have to ask you, Alexis, Ronell and I have done this before. It's your first summer road trip. What have you liked so far?
It's hard to just pick one thing, and you guys, we are constantly moving, but it was just a great stop from seeing the people. Every single person in every single town was so welcoming, and it's kind of funny hearing them be like, we watch you every morning, and be like, me?
Yeah, I find it interesting, you know, just driving around, going to different towns and cities, especially with our network of Skyview cameras. It's like you're so used to showing it to everybody every morning, and it's like, well, we're actually here now. Yeah.
You need to take a picture with the Skyview cameras if we see one, I think.
Oh man, that's gonna be tough. But I'm up for the challenge. I'll give it a try.
Yeah, we can't say enough how welcoming everyone has actually been. It's been absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Let's head on back over to Salina, where Ronald Williams has our forecast. Ronald?
Yeah, Sammy, things are looking pretty good out here. It looks like we're looking at fair skies. Things are pretty dry. Of course, we're at here at Ad Astra Books and
Coffee House.
Books and Coffee House. Let's go ahead and get to that first forecast just to.
And as Ronell mentioned, we are live here in Salina at Ad Astra Books and Coffee House. It is so nice. We were just talking to the owner, Tammy Jarvis, this morning. She said they traditionally open up at 7 a.m. Of course, they opened up even earlier for the KSN crew, and people are already back here starting to come in. I heard one customer say that this is the place to be.
It looks beautiful, and we're seeing a bunch of just the design. This is a new place they're in. They just moved in here 6 months ago.
Yeah, they said that they've been here for 12 years, but they just got to this location 6 months ago. So it's actually just starting to get populated. Really nice.
Yeah, this is a really nice place. Of course, you guys only see 2 coffee cups on the table. You know me and my water. I don't have it right here with me right now.
That doesn't make you special, Ronald. Just kidding. You are special.
You know I don't indulge in the coffee. This really is it's a really nice place that we're at right now. I suggest anybody in the Salina area, you know, come over and check it out if you haven't done so already.
Yeah, there is a lot to get through today. But as we mentioned, it is day 2 of the KSN Summer Road Trip 2023. And of course, let's talk about how day 1 started on Monday. We left the station and started our trip driving about 60 miles to Marion. The town gave KSN quite the greeting with, of course, a street party. It was so nice, you guys. Marion has a lot of history in that town. One of the rich attractions is the library. The town transformed the 1912 Santa Fe Depot into the library and opened its new doors in 2002. Marion is also home to the historic Elgin Hotel, built in 1886. It costs $25,000, which in present day equals to about $800,000. The hotel changed hands many times over the years. For 3 decades, it was used as apartments. In 2006, a couple bought it and invested nearly $2 million to restore it to its glory days. And in 2016, the building got sold again.
Our vision has been to be one of the most sought after vacation destinations here in Kansas, and we're really on the road to become that.
The hotel has 12 suites, a restaurant, and a ballroom for weddings and events.
Our next stop, McPherson. We were live for KSN News at noon from the McPherson Water Park. The temps hadn't heated up yet, but kids still put on their swimsuits and took advantage of free admission to the pool. We also met several firefighters who came out to say hi. Moving west to McPherson County, home of the Maxwell Wildfire Refuge. It is 2,600 acres of serene prairie.
It is another world out here. It is. It is so peaceful, and you feel like you're not in Kansas anymore.
The nonprofit Friends of Maxwell works with the Department of Wildlife and Parks to run the park. You can tour it on a board-covered wagon, and you can see 200 bison and Rocky Mountain elk. The refuge right next to the McPherson State Fishing Line.
And after McPherson, we headed north to Concordia. It's home to just over 5,000 people, and Cloud County Community College and North Central Kansas Medical Center, which opened its doors less than a year ago. Concordia just got named the friendliest U.S. small town, and the people who live there are proud of their new title. Concordia is also home to several museums, including the Orphan Train Complex. Between 1854 and 1929, 250,000 orphans were shipped from the East Coast to rural America in hopes of giving those children a better life. The museums tells the stories through the eyes of the children.
I think it's important to share this history because so often history is told from the perspective of adults. It's rare that we get a history that's focused on the experiences of children. And those experiences are just as important as the experiences of adults. And so many people are unaware of this history.
And they have statues of the children scattered throughout the town. The museum is constantly changing with rotating exhibits. It's open from 10 to noon and 1 to 4, Tuesday through Saturday.
Then we rolled into Salina for the final stop Monday. The Kansas Today crew up past our bedtime, greeting everyone who came out to welcome us to their town.
And a cool place to visit here in Salina, the Garage, like its name, hence it is dedicated to all things cars. The Garage opened about a year ago with more than cars to offer.
It's the memories, it's the connections, it's those hopes and dreams that they've had in these vehicles, and to preserve that. Our whole mission here is to relive the past, but to drive the future. And so bringing in all of the students, the field trips, the summer camps, so they can see and learn from all of this is what we're doing.
Every 3 months or so, the Garage gets new exhibits. Its latest trucks opened last month. Features a 1946 Hudson and Ken Blanc's 1977 F-150 Hunity truck. In September, things will change to all Corvettes.
When you sit and start reading all those stories, you really realize we had a lot of stops yesterday.
We really did.
It's a busy day.
Yeah, you know what? One of the main stops was towards the end of the day when we had dinner.
That was one of your favorites, wasn't it, Ronald?
I think what's it called? Martinelli's Little Italy?
Martinelli's.
Yeah, I was still eating some of my leftovers late last night.
You were thinking ahead of time. I demolished my plate, and it was delicious.
Yeah.
Just seeing all the businesses here in Salina, and every town we stop by, they all have gems.
Yeah, everybody is so welcoming. It is so special. We got to give a shout out to Nick Kiefer, who is behind the camera this morning. He is always making sure that we are together and that everything looks absolutely amazing. So shout out to Nick, who's right behind us.
Yes, but that's it for us here in Salina. We're going to send it over back to the studios where Samantha will have more local news. Stay with us.
You're watching Kansas Today.
Welcome back. It is day 2 of the 2023 KSN Summer Road Trip. We are live here in Salina at the Ad Astra Books and Coffee House.
Yeah, I've already had a mixture of coffee. I had some dark roast, some light roast, and just got this Southern pecan. I probably shouldn't have 3 cups already, but I have. But it's similar to what we do on the morning show, but we're having so much fun out here in Salina. It is our 4th stop. Of course, we talked about it earlier. We started on Monday in Marion, hit up Concordia, McPherson, and then ended up here in Salina, and it's been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it was definitely a great time seeing not only a lot of new friends, but a lot of old ones too. One of them sitting back there. Shout out to Lori for not only coming out yesterday, but getting up early this morning, checking us out early today. When it comes to a lot of the people that we've been meeting, I mean, it's just day 1, and our heads are already spinning a little bit. So it's going to be a long but fun week ahead, at least the rest of the week anyway.
But let's recap on some of the great things we've been able to visit. So talking about Salina, we're here right now. One company in Salina undergoing a major expansion. Schwann's cut the ribbon on the 400,000 square foot Salina facility in May. Over 50 years ago, the facility was just 18,000 square feet. But with the new facility,
they have now reached more than 1 million square feet. The company CEO says they want to support the community.
The support from the state level, from the county, from the city, all that matters because we want to be wanted and we want to do a good job for the people that want us to be in Salina, Kansas.
Schwann says the expansion includes a pizza production line and shipping and receiving docks. Now let's get your Tuesday forecast with Ronell Williams. Ronell, you are talking about some pretty good weather. I mean, it's been warm, but not as bad as it could be.
Yeah, even yesterday it was warm, especially in the sunshine, but it did look like, things stayed pretty dry for everybody that came out between McPherson, Concordia, of course, Marion as well, and then here in Salina where we wrapped things up yesterday. Kicking things off in Salina this morning, and that's where I want to start off that forecast with our Salina Sky View camera. It's only right that we do that.
And Ronell, one thing we've been hearing from a lot of the people is that they are absolutely loving the weather. The weather could not be better for this time this year.
Yeah, I need to get that tip jar back out.
You're always looking for that tip. All right, we're going to have more live from Salina on the KSN Summer Road Trip 2023. We'll be right back.
And let's head on back over to Salina where we've got Ronell Williams with your out-the-door forecast. Ronell?
Yeah, thanks, Sammy. It does look like mainly dry to start off our day, where it looks like there's only a 10% chance of rain this morning. Should be completely dry by the time we get to the lunch hour around midday. We do have some cloud cover around the Salina area right now, but should be able to see some sunshine break free, especially once we start to head into the afternoon. Need to watch out for a few storms that may try to pop up later on this afternoon into the evening.
and we still have a lot of local news back to you in the studio, but again, we are live in Salina. It is 6:29. Stay with us.
Your forecast first with KSN Storm Track 3. Sponsored by X Services.
Bringing your forecast first from Salina as we kick off day 2 of the KSN Summer Road Trip. Let's go ahead and get right into that forecast first, though. It does look like many of us are going to stay pretty dry this morning, only seeing a 10% chance of rain, but looks like things are going to be pretty dry by the time we get to the lunch hour around midday. Later on this afternoon, heading into the evening, need to make sure that we keep an eye to the sky where there could be a few scattered showers and storms out there. The rest of that Storm Track 3 forecast is coming up. Your news starts now.
This is Kansas Today on KSN News 3.
Good morning, Kansas, and thank you so much for starting your day with us. I'm Eddie Randall.
I'm Alexis Padilla.
And I'm meteorologist Ronell Williams.
Day 2 of the KSN Summer Road Trip 2023. 4 stops yesterday, and we ended up in Salina, and that is where we are this morning, live at Ad Astra Books and Coffee House. We kept saying yesterday that every single town that we stopped at set the bar. It kept getting better and better. I gotta say, Alexis, you and Julia were in the bucket of the fire truck.
Yes, we were so excited. I was actually running towards her in the mirror and I was like, can we go in there?
I missed that.
Yeah, you missed it. Where were you, Rana?
I don't know. I was probably talking to the hundreds of people that we've already seen, and it's only been one day.
Yeah. A lot of fun. That was in the town of Marion, and then we hopped over to McPherson, and then Concordia, and now we are here in Salina. It has been absolutely amazing. The people here at Ad Astra Books and Coffee House, so welcoming, so nice. They actually opened up about an hour early just for us to be here.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say, though, obviously I'm the boring one. I don't really indulge in coffee that much, so I always got my water.
And I bet it's extra delicious today.
Oh, yeah, no, because we're going to need to stay hydrated. I mean, we're just getting day 2 started, so it's going to be a long day.
Let's continue with our KSN Summer Road Trip, where our team is out in Salina. We've got Ronell Williams joining us with a look at today's forecast. Ronell?
Yes, Sammy, we did have a bit of a broken sky on our way out to Ad Astra Books and Coffee House. Able to see a nice, beautiful moon. Alexis pointed that out as soon as we were heading out to the car. It looks like some cloud cover has rolled in, but that's just Salina right now. Cloud cover shouldn't last all day, and then looking outside through our downtown Wichita Sky View camera in the heart of the metro.
Yeah, and we really lucked out yesterday. All of the stops had perfect weather, and We got spoiled. This is my first road trip, and I didn't have triple digits.
Yeah, it did look like it. It was a little bit warm out there, especially if you were standing in the sun. Definitely need the sunglasses, the sunscreen, all that good stuff. And we'll likely need that stuff today, too.
Got to do a lot of walking today, because yesterday from the first stop all the way to the fourth one, I had brownies, treats. You guys had breakfast burritos.
Those were delicious.
It was absolutely amazing. Some great food.
Yeah.
And Ronell tried finding that one specifically.
Yeah, well, you let me know about it. I'm not going to lie, I forgot about that already, but memories already.
Great memories. But recapping on our first day of the KSN Summer Road Trip, first stop again in just an hour north to Marion. And what a warm welcome to start the trip. They had a party going on when the KSN crew pulled into town. We had a blast. There was all sorts of goodies for us to eat, as we mentioned. So thank you, Marion. And Marion County, home to two lakes. There's Marion County Lake and Marion Lake, formerly known as Marion Reservoir. The reservoir sits northwest of town, and the county lake is southeast. The county lake home to a Guinness World Record for the most marshmallows roasted at one time.
And after loading up on goodies, and as I said earlier, it was a lot of goodies, we hit the road to McPherson, the city and county named after Civil War Union officer General James Birdseye McPherson. He actually never set foot in the state of Kansas. Back then, it was custom veterans named places after their generals. The historic McPherson Opera House is known as one of the heartbeats of the city. It's built back in 1818 and one of the first in the country with electricity. Opening night, all 900 seats were sold, which is pretty impressive for a town of less than 2,500. In 1925, the Opera House turned into a movie theater. Now let's fast forward to the 80s. It was set to be demolished, but saved by the McPherson Opera House Preservation Company.
They actually had to redo most of it. The front facade of the Opera House, they had to take it down brick by brick and then build it right back up and remodel that.
The Opera House now hosts plays and concerts from bluegrass to opera. It's also home to the McPherson Arts Association Alliance, which has clay, pottery, and painting classes.
After leaving McPherson, we headed north to Concordia, home to 5,100 people, Cloud County Community College, and North Central Kansas Medical Center, which opened its doors less than a year ago. Concordia just named the friendliest U.S. small town. Trust me, we can confirm on that one. And we got a chance to visit with lots of people who call that town home. And then moving on, history, theater, and art, common themes in Concordia. The Brown Grand Opera House opened in 1907. It was made out of native limestone from a local quarry and local fired bricks. Over the years, it hosted live plays, musicals, and dancers before turning into a movie theater. In the 70s, it was added to the National Historic Register.
And our final stop of the first day, right here where we are now in Salina, we got a chance to meet people telling us what makes this town so unique. And just down the street from us here in Salina, the historic Stiefel Theater, it opened as the Fox Watson Theater back in 1931 and closed more than a half a century later in 1987. As years passed, ownership changed hands. It reopened as the Stiefel in honor of a businessman who put a lot of money towards renovations in 2003. Business is booming right now and has been for some time. The Stiefel up for a prestigious award, one of the only 5 finalists for the Academy of Country Music's Theater of the Year. And stay with us on Kansas Today. We are live in Salina for the KSN 3 Summer Road Trip 2023. We're going to have more live from here when we come back.
You're watching Kansas Today with Eddie, Alexis, and Ronell. Good morning.
Welcome back. We are continuing our KSN Summer Road Trip, Day 2, starting off here in Salina at Ad Astra Books and Coffee House. And what a morning it's been so far.
You know what, as far as all the fun that we've been having, and it's only been a day, getting Day 2 started, as you mentioned, it's pretty easy to wipe the sleep out of our eyes, since we know that we're about to have even more fun as we get ready to hit the road here pretty soon.
Yeah.
And everybody has been so welcoming. One guy, when we were getting coffee this morning, said this is the place to be. I was talking to another customer who was talking about the owner, Tammy Jarvis, who says she is so welcoming. She never really turns anybody away. And just make sure everybody has a good time when they come here. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And we're going to jump into some more of those stories and talk about some cool places that are going on as we hit each stop of the KSN Summer Road Trip. Now, if you're into cool classic cars, the Garage is the place to visit here in Salina. It opened a little more than a year ago and has a huge collection of those classic cars. Every few months they get new exhibits. Right now, it's trucks. They got some great ones on display. Coming up in September, they change all to Corvettes. So let's stop and get that full check of the forecast with Ronell.
Okay, yeah, we're going to go ahead and start off with a quick look outside. We do have some cloud cover, which has rolled into Salina. We did have a nice shot of a sliver of a moon out there earlier this morning as we got ready to head out to Ad Astra Books and Coffee House.
Yeah, and your forecast right now reminded me of that old storybook, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, because you said the weather, not too warm, not too sticky, not too toasty, just right.
Well, you know what? In previous years, we've done the summer road